Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the HalfGen podcast, the most frustrating podcast in the world to start because every time I click record, the program we use just moves all the cameras around. So I have everything really nice for the stream, and then nothing looks right once I click record. And so this is the fourth time I've started this, and Nat has a bottle on his head. How you doing? How's that bottle?
Very thirst quenching.
Very nice. I don't have anything to play off with that. I got my own water. I wonder how I
Can
don't
you balance it on your head?
because that I got the. Hold on, maybe I don't know.
No, you just got to find the nice spot, the median spot. Like this.
It's gonna hurt if it falls though, because this is metal.
Then that means it has more weight to balance with.
That I don't think that's necessarily how that works.
Yeah, it is.
I'm terrified.
There you go. Caught it. See, the reflexes were there. They were good enough. See, either you're confident in your reflexes or confidence in your balancing skills. You were clearly confident in your balancing skills.
Yeah, I'll put it there. Yeah, something like that. This has been the balancing portion of today's episode. Nat, how you doing today?
Oh, okay. Just kind of chilling, trying to take it easy.
Yeah, no, I get that. I'm normally off today and tomorrow. Normally, this is my first day off of the week, but I had to swap with a coworker, so I was off yesterday, so it's thrown off my whole week. So, I have to go to work tomorrow, and I really don't want to do that.
I feel that.
There's a reason I take Thursdays off. They're very slow, and I don't want to go in tomorrow because it's going to be very slow. But, my buddy needed to swap.
So I did what I could. You're paying it forward for it to come right back.
Well, yeah, I know he'll do it if I need him to do it, but I still don't want to do it.
I'd say not even just for him, the universe. You know what I mean? You're not feeling my "we're all connected" vibes.
No.
Okay.
No, it has not been the week for connected vibes. I am feeling very disconnected. Sorry, I was fixing something under my desk. Yeah, I didn't. I thought I closed my window again that I needed, and I didn't. Nice. Just taking a minute here. I don't know. I'm just. It's a weird day. It's a weird week. I'm just taking a minute, before I figure out where I want to start. Have you played anything this week that you want to talk about?
Have I played anything this week? I don't think I have. Minecraft and Divinity, really. Those are the only two games I think I've played.
Oh, is that your new chair?
No, it's not.
Oh, I wasn't sure if you'd gotten that yet.
Same old shitty one that goes like this.
Yeah, well, I saw the sweater on it, and I was like, is that a new color? Is that his chair?
No.
I wasn't sure.
This, an emergency sweater in case anything gets a little chilly.
Surprise cold front comes through your room,
You got to keep it,
Crazier things,
It's always there. I just dirty the sweater. I can wash the sweater. I can't throw the chair in the washing machine.
I mean, not with that attitude.
I mean, I don't think attitude is the adjustment there.
No, you can make it work. I can make it work.
You and I have very different washing machines, apparently. My washing machine will make it work.
I'll find a way. It just, you might not like how it comes out the other end, but I'll get the whole chair in there.
That defeats the purpose.
No, the thing was, it wouldn't fit. If I make it fit, it fits.
Purpose. No.
You didn't say it had to be in its original condition, at which point I'm sure I could still get a washer that would do it.
That defeats the purpose.
The purpose
if it comes out not as a chair, what's the point of putting it in the washing machine?
It could still be a chair at the end. It would be a very different feeling chair from before.
That's what I call a waste of time.
I call it a challenge accepted.
Hey, man.
Um, I played a lot of stuff this week, actually. Um, I played the other night with friend of the site, TJ. We were both hanging out on Discord, and I had booted up Maquette, which was the
Mm-hmm.
PS5 exclusive PlayStation Plus game for March.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had it installed. I decided, I was like, I'm not playing anything. I was like, I think it was Monday night. I was like, you know what? Let me play this game. And so TJ hops in Discord while I'm just kind of playing this game. And so sorry, I got a message on Discord. I was just looking at I'll have to look at that later. So he joins and we were like, hey, what do we were going to play something. I was like, what do you want to play? And he's like, I don't know. He's like, what are you doing? So I start streaming the game in Discord, put it up on like remote play and I start streaming it for him. And I'm like, yeah, so it's this game. So the thing with Maquette is basically you're going around in this world, but what you eventually realize early on is in the middle of the world is a model of the world. And so it's like a weird like perspective game where you can interact with the model and it will impact the world around you. So like say you have a key and you need to make it bigger. Like you need a bridge, but all you have is a key. Well, you take the tiny key, and you drop it in the map, and then in the world you get a medium-sized key. Normal big key. But then you take the big key into the model and you drop it, and now it becomes a giant key, which is your bridge. Is basically how that game works. And it works in the reverse, where sometimes you got to make things really small, or like you got to make something really small so you can place it on the model so that way it will drop in.
Mm-hmm.
Or like you position stuff. So I'm playing this and he's looking and like I'm trying to do this puzzle. He's like, well, what if you do this? And I was like, oh my God, that's such a good idea. And so we end up getting hooked on this game. We beat the whole thing. It's like, maybe 3.5 hours, maybe 4 hours. I don't know. It was fun, but me and him ended up just kind of sitting there in Discord and we're just solving all the puzzles. And we're like, okay, well, what if we do this? And I'm like, wait, hold on, let me try this. And he's like, okay, yeah, do that. And then what if we do this? And I'm like, okay. And so we're putting it all together. We end up, someone on my friends list on Steam just logged into like 8 games, 8
Someone
different
let you
games.
know that they're having fun.
8 games at the same time, just the same
They
person.
wanted you to know that they were having the most fun. It's like, look at all the games I'm playing here.
I don't think you can play all of those games at the same time.
Not with that attitude, you can't.
Well, me. So yeah, we end up finishing that, and that was really cool. So I had a ton of fun doing that. It was. I'm trying to decide like if I want to do a final save for it because I had planned on it, but then like I kind of beat it with a friend, so like I feel like if I do I have to be like, hey, I played this with somebody else. But it's this really good game. It was like you kind of see a relationship through the eyes of like characters who are already like over it. So it was a relationship that kind of starts well and goes bad, and you kind of are there for the whole process, and each level represents a different part of that process of them getting to know each other, falling in love, living happily together, to well, things aren't quite what they used to be, and then it goes in some fun directions. It's a very very interesting game, really good voice acting, really kind of believable writing. It's not always perfect, but it felt like 2 people talking, and it didn't feel like video game dialogue. It felt like 2 people genuinely like talking, and like there was one point where there's like this big fight, and like it felt like a real fight. Like it felt like an argument you would have Argument would be a better word, maybe not, but like there's this argument going on, and it really feels like an argument two people would be having, and I'd be like, I've probably had an argument like this before, you know.
I was gonna say
Um,
domestic violence is
no,
not
no, no,
good,
yeah,
guys.
no, no,
Don't
not like that, not like
no
that. That is
no
not.
fisticuffs with your loved ones
No,
or
no, no,
anyone in general.
that's not what this game is. That's why I wanted to rephrase. It was an argument. They were talking like, she comes home from work or from school. See, there you go. She comes home from school and he's like, "How was work?" And she's like, "Well, what do you mean? I was at school." And he's like, "Okay, well, how was school?" And she's like, "Well, how's your mom?" And he's like, "Well, how was school?" And she's like, "How is your mom?" And he's like,
Mhm.
I'm asking you how your day was. And she's like, "No, you asked me about, work, but I was at school." And he's like, why does it matter? Just tell me how your day was. I'm just trying to figure out how your day was. And she's like, "Why do you have to always be like this?" And he's like, "Why do you have to be like this?"
Why do they
So
both
it's
have to be like
it's
this?
this big back and forth, and like you kind of see the relationship going toxic in kind of a sad way. But it was a yeah. I'll tell you what, if you've got a PS5 and you probably have PlayStation Plus, you should definitely give that game a shot. It's not long. Some of the puzzles are a little weird. Some of them are a little like, really, like you got to get that. But there are a few that are like really, really clever, and really use everything the game has to offer to get to where you need to be. So that was really interesting. One or two of them were like, it was a really like dumb thing, whereas like we were doing the right thing the whole time, but we had to turn something sideways because it's not very clearly illustrated how something works until like you're maybe really small, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh wait, you can do this, you know.
Hmm.
But I like the game a lot. It was good.
It's good to hear.
Besides Maquette, I have been playing more Loop Hero.
Hmm.
That has been shockingly fun. Not shockingly fun, but like that game is just like, that game is really kind of hard to explain exactly what it is, because there's a lot of like, gamer terms you want to throw at it, and they don't work to describe what that game is. Um,
Hmm.
I finally fought the boss. I died, but not the end of the world. I had one night where I kept getting a bunch of errors with it, and I don't understand why, but it hasn't happened again since. But yeah, that's been really fun. I'm really enjoying Loop Hero. I want to play more of that. It's a good game. It's like, it's not a mindless game. You have to kind of pay attention to it, or your runs are going to be very short, because you got to manage like your gear. You got to make sure you're equipping the best stuff, but maybe what you have right now isn't the best stuff for later. So you're constantly balancing. Okay, you're balancing your cards at the bottom of like, okay, I want to build these things, but I don't want to build them too quickly because then more enemies are going to spawn, that can kill me. Or maybe I don't want to place these things because my current build, you're kind of going in. You get to kind of set, so you get 12 cards every time you go in, every time you go for a loop, and you get to pick up to 12 cards, and that controls like, hey, I want to make spiders that are going to spawn on the map. And spiders are really good early on because you got to kill more stuff to get stronger. Once you have certain building, that's the thing, it's crazy. Like once you unlock a building, you can start leveling up, and then you start getting skills every couple levels. But later on, because the spiders spawn like every day, it starts off as one or two spiders, but by the end, now you're fighting 8, 9, 10 spiders in a loop, and it starts to get to be a bit much. Or, if you're trying to go for a vampirism build, you want to heal on hit, but there's a swamp that basically reverses the effect of all healing. So like I was having this really good run, I had a lot of health regeneration, and I was like, cool, I'm ready to go. And I had this stretch of swamps, and I forgot how it reversed it. So like I came through a loop, I was at full health, and I'm running through these swamps, and my health, so I have like a 6 health per second regen, and my health just starts draining.
Just chonking
6
away.
per second. Huh?
So just chonking away.
Yeah. And so I'm like, oh shit, like that's right. Swamps flip. And I've got like 3 of them in a row. So I'm just going through this death march where I'm losing all my health because I'm an idiot. And so then, I'm trying to get rid of those swamps as quick as I can. And I'm like, fuck, I gotta get rid of these things. And then there's these villages, which you think, the first time you place them, they heal you for 30 every time you walk across them. And it's like, cool. But every two you place, you get a bandit camp. And then every time you go through a village, they give you a quest, which makes an enemy on the field like a hero. And then they're stronger now. So you have like 4 or 5 villages. All of a sudden, you've got 4 or 5 monsters on the field who are like really, really strong now. And they take a
Mm-hmm.
little more time to kill. They do a little more damage, but that adds up over the course of a loop. Good?
That's some fancy stuff. That's my eyelash bothering me.
Oh, I'm just making sure you're okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's Loop Hero is a really weird, fun game. And like I'm really enjoying it and I'm really interested to see where it goes. But like it's definitely not an easy game. I don't really know how else to really talk about it right now. I got to get
Mm-hmm.
further before I can really talk more to it. But I've been kind of picking things up, and I've been streaming it, so people who are a little more familiar without kind of telling me what to do have been like, hey, have you noticed this? And I'm like, oh my god, you're right. So I start placing things differently, and I start timing things differently, and all of a sudden my runs get a little bit cleaner. They work a little bit better for what I'm trying to do. And I'm like, okay, dope. Like all of a sudden, this is going a lot better. Uh, let's see. I did jump into kind of a brief thing. I jumped into some Helldivers uh, for the first time in a long time. Did you ever play Helldivers back in the day?
Nope.
That game is still really fun and still has a lot of people playing it. I was very surprised. Um, so shout out to Helldivers. That is a really fun game, but not one I'm really ready to spend a lot of time talking about today. But Helldivers is still very active. For anybody out there who is interested or has played Helldivers, you'd be shocked. There's a lot of people still playing it. There was a demo I
Helldivers
played.
going on strong.
Yeah, there was a demo I played with Tony. Operation Tango. It is like a divergent co-op game.
Mm-hmm.
So that game seems like it's going to be a ton of fun. So essentially you have two character roles. One is like an agent who's in the field and the other one's a hacker.
Mm-hmm.
And what you're doing is the agent's in the field going around trying to get information or get access, like, hey, I'm at this door. And the hacker's job is to kind of get them through it. And it's like, hey, what do you see? Okay, well, I see this X on the ground. Okay, cool. So go stand here and then do this, because we're each seeing different information, or we both have to like
Mm-hmm.
contribute to complete a puzzle. Like one of us will have like the A and D keys, the other one will have the W and S keys to navigate through like this maze or something. It was really cool. The game is supposed to be coming out this year. It was showcased by Sony. Apparently, Sony had like an indie thing a couple weeks ago, and I didn't know about it. Where they showed it, and that's how I found it and found the
Mm-hmm.
demo. And it's supposed to come out this year, and that jumped very high on my list of games I'm excited for because I really dig those divergent co-op games. It's a lot like the We Were Here games, which in searching for games like Operation Tango, we found out that there is a new We Were Here game coming out,
Hey.
which was very exciting news, which was announced at that same thing. Go
Mm-hmm.
figure. So I'm sitting here for weeks. Me and Tony don't know that, this new Divergent co-op game is coming out from a series we love. We played all 3 of them last year. I think it was last year. Or was it the year before? I don't remember.
Which Tony? Cypher Tony?
Cypher Tony. Yeah, I am referring to that Tony as Tony. He is Tony. The other one doesn't come up enough.
Mm.
There's only one Tony as far as this podcast is concerned. If it's other Tony, I will say friend of the site Tony. But yeah, so we've been playing all the We Were Here games. So like it was exciting for Operation Tango, and then it was exciting to see that We Were Here Forever is coming out this year. So really, really excited for that. Um The only other thing, other than the usual stuff that I spent a lot of time playing is last night I actually booted up Avengers on the PS5.
Mhm.
Now that
Is
the
that
patch
Spider
is
Man
out,
supposed to be coming out soon?
not soon, no.
Hmm.
But I did play that on PS5. I played it in the performance mode. It ran very well. But the thing that really got me that I wasn't ready for
Mhm.
is I feel really bad that like you got whatever's going on with your eye there.
It's all good.
Um, Kamala Khan, when she's just kind of fanboying at the Avengers and then like meeting Thor and Captain America and stuff like that was like really cool. And I really appreciated that. Like, I don't know
Mhm.
why that hit me so well, but like I was smiling, I was laughing. Like that was a really good opening to that game. I will say because my first impressions of that game was all from the PC demo. That game does not play very well on mouse and keyboard. It plays a hell of a
Mhm.
lot better on a controller. I don't know if that's changed since the original demo they put out compared to like the final PC release, but I'm playing it on PS5 now at this point. I have no complaints about how it's playing. I have no complaints about how it's running. The performance mode's been really smooth. I got a couple missions in, and yeah, I'm actually enjoying that game a lot. I'm having a good time playing it. I don't know
Mhm.
how long that's going to last. I've
Nice.
heard people say that the single player campaign is really fun, and it's like the more Destiny aspects of it that are not as good. But
Mhm.
I'll see eventually. I'm gonna at least play through the single player stuff because it's been really good so far. I'm excited to see where that game
Nice.
goes. And that's
It's good to see they didn't abandon it in the fray of all the like hoopla.
oh, it's not too late.
Like, I mean,
It's not
they're
too
not
late for
wrong.
them to do that. But yeah, that's pretty much everything. There was a new cutscene today in Destiny with for a new mission that came out. That was really cool. Um,
Mhm.
that story is doing some very interesting things that I'm really happy about. Destiny has been more exciting this season than it has been in a while, and I hope that they can somehow find a way to keep that going because it has been really fun playing Destiny this season.
Don't stink it up, Bungie. Do it
Yeah,
for my
no,
guy.
I have more faith in Bungie than I've had in a long time, and I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. I'm really excited for whatever they're going to do next. This has been real good. It's been really fun playing this game. We did Trials of Osiris this weekend. It was the first time I ran it, got flawless, which is
Mhm.
not an easy thing to do. But I have the benefit of playing with two, with a couple of really, really, really good players. Like one of them's like a top 1% player. The other one I played was like a top 3%. But I held my own, which I was very proud of because I am not a top any percenter for the most part. I think I'm like 30 or 40%. I
Don't
don't
sell
remember.
yourself short, pal.
Yeah, hey, I played really well. I got my flawless, which was which was exciting. Getting back to, I haven't been to the lighthouse in 2 seasons. Played with my highest KD I think I've ever had in trials, and
Uh, I am not sure what the lighthouse means.
so basically in Trials of Osiris, what you're doing is it's you go to this guy Saint 14, and you
Mhm.
get what's called a trials card, and
Is he
so
a
like
saint
we
and some
ran,
14?
huh?
Is he a saint and also 14?
He's an XO, which is why he has the 14 at the end. I'm pretty sure he's an XO. But his name is just Saint. Um, so you go and you get a card. So like I ran the card of mercy. So basically what it is each card has the opportunity for you good?
A fan fell off of my desk,
I
which
think it
kind of
booped your
sucks, but
camera.
I think it did as well.
That's why I wasn't sure what was going on, and you had a look of like, God damn it.
I caught it and I was like, good, I could sit it here and it's not going to fall. And then it proceeded to fall. And I was just like,
All good things.
you know, I was like, it happened. It wanted to happen. So, sometimes you just got to let it happen.
Fair enough. But yeah, so So you go to the tower, you get this card. So the mercy card forgives one loss. So what you're trying to do to get to the lighthouse, you have to win 7 games in a row or 7 of 8 games on a mercy card without losing.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea is 7 in a row and you're in. But what the game does is it's a card-based matchmaking system. So what it does is if you're on game 3, it's trying to match you with other people who are on game 3. So it doesn't matter what your skill gap is. So you could get matched up against a team that's way worse than you. You could get matched up against a team that's like all streamers and, they do it for a living. You could get matched up. We had one match that we did play a cheater because they were just gatekeeping, I think. But you don't know who you're going to play. There's no like skill-based matchmaking in this mode. It's entirely based on who you match up with once you get to that win on your card. So we played the
Mm-hmm.
one card. I think it was a little over an hour. We had the one loss. That was my mercy game. I was on game 7. So we made it 6 games in a row without losing anything. We lost to a cheater. And then the next game we went out and we played. I got like a 3.5 KD that game. I earned that. So what happens is once you get 7
Hey.
wins in a row without a loss on your card, you go to what they call the lighthouse. So it's this big, tall lighthouse kind of thing on Mercury. And you go there and you get an adept weapon. This week it was an adept weapon, which means it's a weapon that has like unique roles and can use unique mods. And you get like a bunch of like upgrade materials. It's really like high end stuff. So you get a ton of like end game rewards. This is like Trials is like the equivalent for PvP of like raids for PvE. This is what the PvP players do when they want to raid. They play Trials. Or I guess it would be the equivalent of Grandmasters or something. I don't know. Regardless, it's not something that's easy to do. This is the first time I'd done it all season. And prior to that, I had played the day before, and I think we only got to game 4, which was as far as I'd gotten. And then once I played with these other guys, like I held my own. They played really well, and then we just we were down a couple games, but we managed to pull it back. It was a ton
Don't
of
sell
fun.
yourself short, Nightmare. You put the team on your back. You was like, we gonna break it. And you just put them on your back, man.
I'll be honest, I wasn't expecting to go flawless on that card. I was kind of expecting because it was like a Sunday night or like a Saturday night, so I was like the only people still on at this point are like sweats. It was like 3 a.m, I think. I was like the only people still on at this point are like people from California and the people who sweat. And so I was expecting to kind of get knocked out. And then when I made it, I was just like, holy shit, let's go. Um,
Hey,
yeah, I played
I
really
mean,
well this week. I'm very happy with how that ended. And then the next day I did my first Grandmaster Nightfall of the season, which is just a really high difficulty activity. It actually wasn't that bad. We did
I
it
was
on
gonna
our
say I'm
first
acting like I
try.
know what you're saying, but I really don't know what that means at
So
all.
you know what? You remember, I know you've played enough Destiny, you know what a strike is. So
Mm-hmm.
a Grandmaster Nightfall is a really hard strike where they put a bunch of like special enemies in it. They raise the power of everything. So basically, like the power of the activity is 1350, but they cap you at 1325, which means you're doing less damage and you're taking more damage. So you're at a disadvantage from the start and you're doing the strike with all these extra enemies and all these, and the fact that you die a lot easier. So it requires a team that's really like communicating well and playing well. And then you got to complete the whole thing because if your squad dies, you get sent to orbit. So if all
Mm-hmm.
3 members of your team are dead at once, you go back to space. And then you have to start it over. So the fact that we did it in our first try, I think was pretty good for us. I also didn't bring the best gear that I should have, but it ended up working out, luckily.
Seems like Destiny is free for you, friend.
I wouldn't go that far because this week we failed it 3 times, 4 times, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And we made it to the boss like almost every time. And we just kept dying at the boss. So, take it.
Yo,
Take it.
bosses be hard, man.
It shouldn't be. That's the part that's like the easiest to predict because like there's no special enemies there. You just got to do the encounter.
Mm-hmm.
That's the easiest part, really.
Hey, man, after
So
you just guys are just fatigued from going through hell and back to get there, and then by the time you get there, you're so fatigued.
Maybe that's what it is.
Maybe you guys need to get there, set up a picnic in front of the boss door, and chill out for a little bit.
I don't think that's gonna do it.
Hey man, it's an idea. Table it, workshop it, and bring it back.
All right, I'll see what I can do. I'll talk to my friends about a picnic at Brockison's place.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that is everything. That is everything I played this week. Yeah, that is everything I played this week. It was a good week.
Hey.
Good week of games. I played a lot of stuff that I enjoyed. I enjoyed everything I played this week, which I can't say about every week. So kudos this week in games. Um, do you have anything you want to touch on before we, I guess, jump into some news? Because I don't really have anything in between.
I was saying game wise, yeah, I don't have really anything. Yeah, I don't have anything at all. It's just Divinity and Minecraft is all I've really been playing. So
That's what I meant to talk about. Divinity. We beat that. We beat that encounter we got stuck on last week. First thing we
mm-hmm.
did this week, and we beat it really easy this time. We had a much easier time of it.
I have a theory.
Okay.
That also plays into how we can move forward. Maybe set piece fights like that fight and the fight where we stopped on this time. Maybe when we know, like, we could probably piece together that a big fight is coming up, we save it because we fight significantly better at the start of a session than towards the end when everybody's kind of tired and being down.
Well, and last night the only person who was tired was Ross.
I was
I was doing
tired, but
okay.
I could go, because I'm very simple. Just kill everything,
Yeah.
high output damage.
Yeah, like I think we would have been fine in that one fight. It's just like because for whatever reason when we tried it again that second time, she didn't spawn any of the extra enemies. But this time, like what the first time we
Mhm.
went in and she was talking to me, she spawned like 2 extra enemies on me, and I
Yeah,
was just like,
you
"What
can't
the
talk to her.
hell?"
She hates you. She
Yeah, she
hates your
really
god
does.
and you specifically.
But
Like
I really
you
like
specifically, she's
I
like,
like that conversation though. It's
I
a
get
good
it.
conversation.
I want to hear the conversation with her and my character. I
Yeah,
think it'd
that'll
be
be interesting.
interesting because my character doesn't have a god, like it's in crazy evil spirit or some bullshit.
Yeah, you
So
got the evil demon thing inside you.
you know, I just got to check if he got there with consent, man. Don't go inside your friends without consent. You fucking David Dornbricks or whatever the fuck.
God damn it. What the hell else did we do yesterday in Divinity? Did we just fight a lot? Is that all we did? We fought in the
We
Black Pit.
fought,
God, that took like an hour, didn't it?
and then
That
we just
fight.
kept fighting, and then kept
Yeah.
fighting. We fought some more.
Sir Laura
Fought
died, so we
some
had to
more.
do that one fight over again.
That was easy
Fucking Sir
peasy.
Laura. What an asshole. Like, why do you keep running through Speaking of Necrofire, why is that whole game Necrofire the video game?
I think it's just that there's a lot of stuff that ends up as fire, and one thing can turn something into necrofire. So like all those what you call it turn stuff cursed or whatever, and then they subsequently turn to necrofire because oil turns to fire, fire's
No, I
already
get that, but
fire,
like,
poison
why
turns
does
to fire. I feel like everything, even the dust thing turns to fire. I feel like
it's just
everything
so
just
dumb that everything turns to fire. That's my one gripe about Divinity. It's the one
Mhm.
thing I don't like about that game is everything ends up on fire no matter what. Everything in that game ends up on fire. Like and it always turns to necrofire because everybody there's always an enemy who can curse, and so they
Mhm.
curse it and then like it spreads to the fire, or we get the cursed
we
oil and then we that turns to fire. Everything just lights on
well,
goddamn fire.
it was that encounter specifically, and we've also been fighting a lot of like cursed enemies from like those stupid scarecrow things, they do that, and I feel like it's gonna kind of taper off a bit with the fire enemies, especially the more we get away from these like fire. Like we're in like a fire themed area right now, so I guess it should be expected.
Would you really consider where we are? We're in the black pits. I
We're
wouldn't
in a
consider that a fire
mine.
themed area.
Well, it's like mine off of like an oil mine, an oil mining operation. You know what I mean? I'm just saying I could see there being fire enemies there. You know,
I guess. I
because
don't know. I'm
leading
just
up there,
tired of every
everything was on
battlefield being on
fire.
fire because at some point I need to drop poison somewhere and
I feel
everything's on
like
fire.
I feel like up until this point, the only things that have been on fire, like unironically, was the boat when we was fighting, but it was on fire. Some stuff was on fire, but it was also raining, and and then there's that one fight on the beach where stuff was on fire. But for the most part, stuff. Oh, I guess no. There's that one in the forest that was on fire too, and then now this new fight. But for the most part, I feel like a lot of the fire is Cypher just going crazy, and then all of like at one point all of us had that stupid oil punch thing, so I took that out because I was like, we all don't need access to fire, so I took that out.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like even when he's not using, because he had that one where we couldn't use the fire and
Hmm.
that whole encounter, and then it just spawns fire enemies.
Hmm. Yeah.
Like it's just an
Well, he still
encounter that
had
ends
a
up.
fire. The
Yeah, but
problem with
he didn't light it on fire.
no, he did technically,
Not the
because
whole
he
arena.
well no, because he fire focused in on one of the slimes in the corner, and I was like, I thought we wasn't using fire. He's like, that's all I have, and then he's like, everything else is on cooldown. So then he set that area on fire, and then that guy came in, and then it started exploding stuff, and then literally a second later, all the fire slugs came in, and then everything started exploding.
I just hate how much damn fire is in that game. Because
I
like,
get it.
if I had known it was going to be like that, I would have been more careful about what I ended up picking. Because like,
You
I
can
need
still
poison.
respect. You can
No,
still
but
respect.
I can't respec my undead character.
Why not?
It's my character. He's undead.
Oh yeah, I mean, but like, there's stuff that you can take, like skills and
But
stuff. You know.
that's not the problem. The problem is that I need poison to heal.
I
And all
get you.
my abilities that like cast poison, I can't cast them if the ground is on fire everywhere.
Uh-huh.
Or if I do, there's the chance that they become on fire.
Hmm.
Everything we do combusts. I don't know how, but everything we do is combustible.
Yeah, I mean, we just need
We
to.
drop water on the ground and somehow that's on fire.
Yeah, we just need to get better about having you prep before battles. Like, I really want to take glass cannon because it's gonna like damn near double my damage output. But I need to get more action points first so I can go in and out of. Like at the end of every turn, I need to be able to hide, or literally people are gonna just look at me and I'm gonna die.
Well, no, so glass cannon, I don't know if you read that. That doesn't actually make you weaker. It just
Hmm.
makes it so that physical and magical armor don't block status effects.
Yeah.
So like you don't lose any like health or anything. You just don't
Hmm.
get protection from statuses.
I feel like that's what the stuff I die is, those cheesy status effects. Like that witch didn't kill me straight up. She like fucking made me weak, and then once whatever that status effect was just ate away at me, the fucking Kinky Man-Dog came up and punched me once.
I
And man,
forgot
keep your
about
Kinky Man-Dogs at
that.
home.
The fucking kinky man dog.
Keep your Kinky Man-Dogs at home, man. Nobody's a fan of Kinky Man-Dogs.
Man, oh god damn it. Oh shit. Yeah. I forgot about that fight completely. Like I was trying to figure out, I was like, what was the fight we had in the middle? Because I know we went in and we fought those like armadillo things. And then yeah, we fought
Yeah.
a bunch of
And then
magisters. They were
we
pushovers.
fought the
And
magisters
then
in
we
that
fought
area next to the big cube.
yeah.
And then we went and talked to some pillars, and then we wrapped around and fought some more people in another area, and then we left from there and then fought these guys.
Yeah, the white magister. That fight was yeah, I remember because in that one everyone died. So I managed to get out, went back in, revived 2 people, and then we reset the fight. We ended up winning that time, but it's a good thing I got out. Yeah, we gotta. And then we finished that quest, and it didn't even do anything because the dude ended up just leaving. We should have saved those people. I kept saying we should have saved those people, and then whoever was talking to them kept just trying to talk their way out of it. And I was like, why don't we just fight them so that we can save these people? And then they were like, no. I think it was Cypher. I don't remember. It might have been
I can't
Cypher.
remember, but I
But
remember being like, "Yeah, we should definitely save
or
these
Tony. But
people."
I was like, we should save these people. And he was like, nah. And then he kept talking and kept getting them killed one by one because he kept failing the persuasion. I'm like, why aren't we just fighting these people? And then they all died, and then we fought them anyway.
Yeah.
I was just like, why couldn't we done? Or the other time where Tony Cypher decided, hey, what if I just light this lady who's hanging that we're trying to save on fire and kill her? I think he's cost us the most quests. I'm a close second, but I think it's him. Because my thievery has cost us some quests, but I think he's a close second. Or no, I'm a close second. He's first.
Mm-hmm.
He has done more collateral damage than I could ever do.
I just killed things. You guys telling me to kill them, and I put the damage on them.
You know
I
what I was
look at
just
them
thinking
with
about?
my rays of damage. What were you thinking about?
You know how that lady said that there was the weapon that somebody else had?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder
We
if
could
that's what
probably
Riker's
find it,
looking
and
for.
then I mean that would make sense.
I wonder if that's what Riker wants.
Imagine we don't go fight her, and we just pull up back on her with the weapon, like huzzah!
Huzzah, bitch!
It's just a golden wet flip flop. You just throw at her head one good time, like pow,
Pow! Just soaking wet, drops to the floor. She's just like, the fuck?
KO. Ooh, like Street Fighter. That would be funny.
At the end, she looks like a beat up Honda. I don't know how that happened.
Sheesh. I mean, she already kind of does.
I don't know. Well, we don't really know what she looks like because she's wearing that mask. All I know is she's
Yeah, that
probably
mask looks
undead
like
and
a
she's
beat up
really
Honda.
pissed. Okay, the mask is the beat up Honda. Okay, no, fair enough. And then she got those damn spirit dogs. Oh no, I feel like we made good progress. Playing that last night.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to make more. But yeah, so that was Divinity. In other news, Square Enix, they had a Nintendo Direct style thing. I like how all of these are now Nintendo Directs, because Nintendo Direct has become like the term for a short video presentation on our upcoming releases. You know, it's like Googling something, and now you're doing it in a Nintendo Direct. But Square Enix had one of those, and it sounds like it was nothing really crazy.
A Square Direct?
Square Direct. Square Enix Presents is what it was called. It's the showcase. There's a new Life is Strange game coming out called True Colors, where the main character's power is empathy. So they can feel people's
Empathy's a strong one.
emotions. They can feel people's emotions and they react
That
to them.
sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah. So okay, hold on. Yeah, so that was like the big news. There's also Outriders is still obviously a thing. They showed that. It's the 25th anniversary of Tomb Raider. Guess what they're doing to celebrate?
Giving it away on Twitter.
They're putting Croft Manor in Fortnite.
That makes sense.
As of yesterday, Croft Manor is in Fortnite. So congratulations, Tomb Raider, on 25 years. You are now in a game much bigger than you.
Sheesh.
Remember when Tomb Raider was like a big franchise, and then Square Enix was like, it's not big enough, and they kind of stopped caring.
They didn't do anything with it forever, and then
like Crystal Dynamics made 2 really good ones, and then they had to make the Avengers game.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Just Cause Mobile got shown.
Mm.
as like a reveal, but like nothing else. There was a cinematic trailer. There's a Hitman Sniper Assassins mobile game coming. There's a
Mm.
Space Invaders AR game. Side-scrolling
To
shooter
play Space
Darius.
Invaders VR.
Yeah, Space Invaders is getting an AR game. There's a side-scrolling Darius game coming to Switch and PS4 as an HD remaster called Darius. I don't know. Cosmic with a Z Revelation. Bubble Bobble for
Mm-hmm.
Friends is coming to Steam, and a second story pack for Tauhou or Tohu Spell Bubble on Switch. I don't know what that is. Um,
Mm.
Kind of the big news was the Life is Strange. Black Panther's coming to Avengers in the summer with a new like kind of expansion piece. Balan Wonderland continues to look not great. Um, and then yeah, they announced the new Life is Strange. Empathy based psychic ability have to unravel a mysterious death. Also, the first two Life is Strange games, Life is Strange and Before the Storm, are getting remasters that will be
Mm.
arriving later in the year. I'm very
Cool, cool,
excited
cool.
to actually play that again. Life is Strange 1 was a very good game. Before the Storm is less good, but also probably good. I wasn't crazy about it. The Life is Strange spinoff looks good though. Oh yeah, no, that one. I hope that's how the Life is Strange remaster ends up looking. Um, and you remember Project Athia? That was that game that Square Enix showed, and they were like, "It's a new PS5 exclusive." It has a name
Mm-hmm.
now, Forspoken.
And a woman of color lead.
Correct, yeah, and she fights a dragon in sneakers.
Nikes. Nikes
Who's
are very
wearing the
durable.
sneakers? Yes. Um, yeah, I'll be honest. That Forspoken game like looks cool, like just looks cool. It does not look
Mm-hmm.
particularly interesting in any other way. I
Mm-hmm.
don't. I hope I'm wrong. You know that it, and you know maybe it is very interesting, but boy, did it just look kind of shallow. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. It's early. Who
Look
am I
like
to
meh.
say? It didn't look incredible. You know, it just looked like, oh wow, this is just some really fast, dashy gameplay. You know. You
Mm-hmm.
want some crazy news? I'm sure you heard this. Sony bought Evo,
Yeah, heard about it.
which is kind of nuts. It was a
It
joint.
was like
It was a joint endeavor.
Xbox was like, let's buy Bethesda. Sony was like, let's buy Evo
I wouldn't even
as
put
a response.
those. I wouldn't even
It's
put
a
those two
joke.
acquisitions in the same
It's just a
realm.
joke.
Let alone, no, I know, but like a lot of people are trying to pin it that way of like, well, we just bought
Mm.
Evo, and it's like, no, that's not any reason why. There's still going to be Smash. If somebody makes a fighter exclusive to Xbox and it wants to be on Evo, it's still going to be on the Evo stage, you know. Um, it makes sense in the fact that like Sony gets a lot of free advertisement from this, and Sony kind
Mm-hmm.
of guarantees now that you know fighting games will continue to be a priority for their platform because now
Mm-hmm.
Sony is making the ultimate commitment of like, hey, we're part owners of Evo now, so we're all in, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Because they also bought it. There was another company they bought it with, some company RTS, I think, is the company who also owns part of it. They're like a esports organization.
Mm.
Yeah, RTS, a new esports organization recently formed by sports marketing company Endeavor. So yeah, they're both going to own it. It sounds like the leadership for Evo is staying on, and yeah, it's crazy. That's awesome for Evo. You know, they get a little more stable financial backing. They get one of the biggest publishers in the business kind of supporting them, and in exchange, they get a little free advertising. You know, that seems like a good deal to me.
Hey.
Um, Gotham Knights, the co-op Batman Arkham kind of game, got delayed to 2022, which is not surprising in this day and age. Um, the statement in the image, which was not
It's
on a
the
yellow
way of the
background,
delay.
huh?
It's the way of the delay.
Yeah. Gotham Knights will now launch worldwide in 2022. We are giving the game more time to deliver the best possible experience for players. Thank you to our amazing fans for your tremendous support of Gotham Knights. We look forward to showcasing more of the game in the coming months. I am still very excited for that game, and as disappointed as I am on the surface of like, yo, it's a delay that sucks. I would rather the game be really good. So take all the time you need. Um, so we got four big ones here. I'm going to start with kind of the smallest. So
Xbox
Google,
trying to buy Discord.
no, no.
Oh, okay.
Well, we're talking about it now. Xbox, Microsoft it's not Xbox, it's Microsoft. Just to be clear, Microsoft is apparently has made an offer to purchase Discord, or is in discussions to purchase Discord for over $10 billion, which I am not particularly excited at, because just look at what they did to Skype. And
Mhm.
Discord was a reaction, feels like a reaction to what Skype became, and Discord is everything Skype should have become. And so I hope that Discord does not, according to the report. Yeah, so Bloomberg was the first one to report on it, I believe. Oh no, you were right. I think it is Xbox. Xbox chief Phil Spencer is said to be talking to Discord. God damn it! Why? Why would Xbox? I guess because
Because I'm assuming they assume they purchase. A a lot of people are talking about like I guess Xbox is gonna double down on the experience of their consoles. Like I feel like that's what they have in spades right now. Like everybody likes the games always on feature, and whenever people like all the surveys come back, at least from what I've seen, most people have talked about how they enjoy the convenience of the Xbox compared to the PS5, like just how things run. And I'm assuming they might just be trying to streamline everything. And maybe if they get Discord to handle it, now they could really tie in like PC players, because I would say most PC players use Discord to speak. So they'd
yeah,
really be doubling down on that.
yeah. And then if you have like, I just think you can have Discord on an Xbox without Microsoft buying them.
hmm
Um,
But if Discord is trying to sell and Microsoft is like, we want to do this anyway, Microsoft is big dick money company that can, throw around $10 billion on a whim for a subsidiary to buy another company as a subsidiary.
So yeah, VentureBeat had additional info saying that Discord was exploring a 10 billion plus sale after multiple potential buyers expressed interest, and that it had signed an exclusive acquisition discussion with one party, suggesting that a deal could be close. But Bloomberg says the deal isn't imminent, and that one of their sources said that Discord would be more likely to take itself public than seek an acquisition. Bloomberg also says that Epic Games and Amazon were companies that had held discussions to buy Discord in the past.
I had seen something also that said, yeah, Amazon and Facebook were heavily interested in purchasing
Anyone
Discord,
but
which
Facebook. I would rather anybody else
I
but
would
Facebook.
I would rather Xbox or
Yeah,
Microsoft buy Discord before I
then
rather
Facebook.
Facebook.
Yeah.
Amazon, at least Amazon hasn't seemed to fuck up Twitch too much. We now we're on Twitch, but I feel like I don't know. I don't feel like Amazon has bad precedency with listening. So I feel like Discord is, for better or for worse, people's like safe haven privacy. You know what I mean?
I just don't trust anything with Facebook. So
I know Facebook is that to the utmost. I'm just saying
I
Amazon
think,
also
yeah,
has
no,
those
yeah,
concerns.
no, but like I feel like if you want to point to a scummy
No, Facebook
corporation,
is it.
Facebook is the scummiest of the corporations. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, they're the one I try to interact with the least. Because at least I've got my eggs in a basket, between Microsoft and Google, because that's just the lifestyle I lead. That those two intersect a lot. If anybody's going to have my data, I got a Google Home that they're going to do what they will. I think Google is probably crazy as it might sound, one of the better ones, at least recently, in terms of like privacy and just being like, hey, you can just turn this shit off if you don't want, like, hey, we have a switch, like a hard switch to just turn off your microphone. If you don't want it, just flip this switch and the microphone is gone, Like, I feel like Google, weirdly enough, Google is being a little more progressive. Amazon's going to have my info because I buy a lot of stuff, but that's really all they have anymore. If I'm going to get, I want to control my ecosystems as much as I can, and I want to keep them as far away from Facebook as humanly possible because Facebook just seems like the worst.
I feel that.
Like we have our Facebook like for HalfGen, and I forget it's there a lot because I just don't want to be on Facebook. And if any of you are following on Facebook, follow us on Twitter instead, because I would rather give my information to Twitter than Facebook. Because, one of them does absolutely nothing, and then one of them at least tries to do something. So, I don't know. I fucking hate Facebook so much. Like, I used to Facebook, like that's why I removed it from my phone. I used to work at a place and I had no common friends with most of the people I worked with. And then one day on Facebook, they just start popping up as suggested friends because Facebook was seeing that we all had it on our phone. We all went to the same place, the same days a week. And so it was like, okay, you must know these people. And I like Facebook just does not hide how much they track. And that's what makes it so scary. And like the other ones,
Yeah.
I almost feel better not knowing what they're tracking in certain
At least
ways.
try to respect your intelligence,
Like,
Facebook could listen to you talk about delivery boy pantaloons from the 30s, and then 3 days later, streetwear pantaloons pop up on your phone. Like,
I shit you not. We were playing Destiny, and I was joking about something, and I kept saying, like, in The Simpsons, not Lenny, like something happened, and somebody said, like, not this, and I was like, not Lenny, and I don't know what happened, but the next day, I'm at work watching YouTube on my break. What do I see in my suggested? Not Lenny. The fucking clip I was talking about. And I was just like, what the fuck? Let's see if it shows up again tomorrow. Not Lenny. That's how I'll know Google's really listening to me, and then I'll start to be scared again.
sheesh.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. Like, it really is crazy just how easy it is for, just them to, just for them to get so much info. And then like Facebook again, like me and friend of the site, Tony, were playing at my place once. We played Diablo 3 on my PS4. We played locally. So he logged into his account and we're playing. He left my house, got to his car, checked Facebook, and saw an ad for Diablo 3 for PS4. He left my house and was just like, hey, you should buy this.
They were listening.
Yeah. Well, he had his account linked to Facebook. I had mine linked to Facebook. We both had it on our phones. We both knew. And that was like, I think the day I uninstalled it.
The only I deleted Facebook too. The only Facebook thing I have on my phone is Instagram, because I use Instagram. But
I think I used to have WhatsApp because I needed that to talk to Zane.
I feel you. Oh yeah, because he's in the military and he'd be overseas. I would say, yeah, Instagram is it. Like, I barely use Instagram anyway. Today I posted a picture, and it was the first picture I posted since 2019. So
I went almost 3 years without using my Facebook account. And I only started using it again to start sharing the podcast, but I'm really strongly considering just deleting it and just being like, guys, like, don't just, the Facebook doesn't exist anymore as far as I'm concerned. Like the problem is there's a lot of people who follow the Facebook but don't follow the Twitter and things like that. And we get a lot of like there's a lot of like not everything, but people see the stuff we post on Facebook. And the one good thing about Facebook is they give you a lot of like easy to read analytics. Like you can see how many people something reached, how many people really interacted with it. And like they give you a lot of good information for that, which I do like. But at the same time, it's just like, I just don't respect your organization at all.
I feel you.
That's why I won't buy an
Um,
Oculus.
yeah, I don't know. I
I'll
feel
tell
that.
other people to buy them, but I
Yeah,
won't.
I use Facebook. I use Facebook once a year on my birthday because everybody wishes me happy birthday, and I'm just like, hey guys, I'm gonna say this again. Don't use this shit, but thank you, much appreciated.
Yeah.
That's it.
No, Facebook even ruined birthdays. Like it used to mean something when like somebody was like, "Hey, they remembered my birthday,"
Mm-hmm.
and that would be something. But then all of a sudden now when everybody knows everybody's birthday and that thing comes up, wish your friend a happy birthday. It doesn't mean anything. Facebook reminded you. How many people would actually remember a birthday if Facebook didn't remind them every year?
I actually like that because I would forget everything. I forget my birthday if I didn't have like a reminder set essentially. So I actually do quite kind of like that aspect of it. But
I try and remember people's birthdays because, like, if you care enough about somebody, you remember their birthday.
I mean, we're just bad at memorizing stuff. Like I feel personally like I'm bad. I try to, but like I don't use Facebook anymore. But my phone, I have a bunch of
Oh,
reminders set in my phone for like birthdays and stuff. So
yeah, I know a lot of my friends' birthdays. I don't know all of them, but I know
I
a
know
good chunk
time
of them.
periods. I just don't know like the exact days.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like trivializing the birthday is such like a weird thing, and it's just like the more I see it, the more I'm like every year. And that's the thing is, I hadn't been on my Facebook for 2 solid years.
Mhm.
Clockwork, man. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. And it's like I haven't replied to any of these, and I'm not going to. But every year they
Mhm.
do it, and it's like you people can see that I haven't posted anything on here since August of 2018.
They just see it and then they're like, yeah, man, everybody else is giving this person a happy birthday. I might as well too.
It's the same people every year. It's like the
Ta-da!
couple family members, whatever. Like Facebook got so bad, I had to like start muting family members because I couldn't stand looking at it. And it's like I
I
don't
feel
like knowing that you guys are that stupid.
I just open it, I look for a little bit once in a while, and I close it. It's not on my phone; it's on my iPad that I have in the bathroom for when I'm taking a dump. So I can look
The
at some
bathroom
shit while
iPad.
taking a shit. You feel me?
Yeah,
If I'm gonna be browsing some
everybody.
shit, I at least want to be taking a shit while doing it.
Yeah, the bathroom
High
iPad.
level plays. For your head tops.
Must be nice to have just like an iPad for your bathroom. Like just like this is where you live.
I mean, it's not just for the bathroom. I had it to draw and stuff. That's the same iPad I drew the HalfGen logo with.
Oh,
But
nice.
most of the time while here, like it's either if I'm going to use it, I could just go get it from the bathroom, but it gets its most use in the bathroom. Otherwise, I'm on the computer or on my phone. So while I'm not drawing, it could just stay in the bathroom.
See, I just wouldn't like once it's been in there long enough, I just wouldn't want to take it out of there.
I
I'd just
guess
be
that's the
like, this is
difference.
this is where this lives now. It does not leave here.
I guess that's
It's
the
seen too
difference, man.
much.
I'm not delegating it to that bathroom.
See, I
Hey,
wouldn't I
man.
wouldn't feel right exposing it to the rest of my home at a certain point.
Eventually, I'm gonna start binge watching Snowfall, and when I go to get a thinker, that might be my thinker show from now on. A thinker while dropping a stinker.
I'll tell you who doesn't want to drop a stinker. The new Amazon Games Montreal studio.
Mhm.
So Google, you remember they closed their studios a couple weeks ago, and they
I
had one in
remember.
Montreal. That's where Jade Raymond was.
Hmm.
And now Amazon conveniently has opened up a studio there. I would assume hiring much of the recently released Google staffers who were there. Um,
Mm.
yeah, they hired
Hey,
on
at
a
least
bunch of
some people
people.
got some jobs. That's if
Yeah.
just for that, I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, so it sounds like Amazon Games is continuing to kind of double down on their game development, or Amazon as a company is not giving up on game development in the way Google did. They seem pretty committed to trying to put out some games, which, good for them. Uh, so, a couple more details on that reported new Switch. We talked about it a couple weeks ago from the Bloomberg report with the OLED screen. Now they
Let's
have
say, well,
talked.
there's two separate ones.
I
There's
haven't heard
two.
anything about two separate ones.
Yeah, apparently there's like a regular Switch upgrade with an OLED screen and a Switch Pro with an NVIDIA based GPU and what you call it and 4K output.
Well, no, 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 no. So hold on. So what it is it's the same Switch, but what it is that's what this article is.
Mm-hmm.
So the Bloomberg report is saying that the Switch is going to have a new NVIDIA chip on the dock
Mm-hmm.
that will run at upscaled 4K. So the rumor is that the I think the rumor is still that the what we're talking about is one and the same. It's just the regular Switch is going to use I think the original like Tegra processor that's on the other Switches, but it's going to have the OLED screen, and it's probably just going to be a little bit faster. But the dock is going to have an NVIDIA chip that is DLSS compatible. So they're going to use the DLSS upscaler to get to 4K, which I think is a pretty smart idea, because then you can get to 4K without really changing how people have to develop for your platform, because you're just using AI upscaling now. Yeah, so that's what it says right here. In the latest installment of Bloomberg's people familiar with the Matter series, the upgraded OLED Nintendo Switch expected by the end of the year will use an upgraded SoC with support for NVIDIA's deep learning super sampling, also known as DLSS, producing 4K graphics at much lower cost than rendering the resolution natively. So NVIDIA's most recent SoC, codenamed Orion or Orin, I'm sorry, utilizes the same Ampere graphics architecture as the RTX 30 series, which means that whatever the new Switch is will probably use something based on that, if not that chip.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that will be interesting. That should also help them keep costs down, because then it doesn't have to be as powerful as a PS5 or an Xbox, series. You could
Mm-hmm.
probably do something that's competitive with maybe like a Series S in terms of
Mm-hmm.
horsepower, and just do that and then just upscale to 4K. What is that smile? What are you doing?
Just smiling. Just gotta have a good time.
I was smiling into my microphone for the audio listeners. Uh Last piece to talk about today. Apparently Sony is getting ready to close the PS3, PSP, and Vita digital stores.
Yeah, that's pretty shitty. And I'm not mad at them closing them per se. Like that's a shitty thing to do. I'm more mad at their response. Like as matter of fact, like, oh well, I guess you didn't play it when it came out.
Well, I don't think Sony has given a response yet because it's not official.
It's somebody was talking about it. It's one of the leads of one of the studios. I can't remember. I was looking at all the articles. If we talked about this yesterday, I had all the facts in front of me. I no longer have the facts. Yeah, that. And I feel like it wouldn't be that big of a deal if there was a like concrete layout plan. Like, here's all the games you could buy on that store, and if you bought them here's how they'll run in the future or something. But just it for a lot of people, it's taking away content. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, it's taking away content for platforms that are very old now.
Yeah, but it's still content somebody's paid for. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't think it's taking away the ability to download them. I think it's taking away the ability to purchase them going forward. They're just not going to support new purchases on those stores because realistically, purchases on those stores are probably very infrequent. I mean, who's really going out there on a PS3 right now and buying a game digitally?
Lots of markets, man. Brazil and
I don't
Cuba, places like that. They like newer consoles are hard to get, man.
I don't think that makes
They
up
still
enough
make
to
FIFA for PS2. Nah, I'm joking.
no, they do not do that.
They
Uh,
still make it for PS3 though. That's the crazy
do
part.
they?
Yeah,
Are you sure?
yeah, I'm pretty sure they still make FIFA for PS3.
I hold on. Now I got to know. Hold on. I am looking this up. It looks like FIFA 19 might have been the last one.
It says FIFA. EA has announced that. Yeah, it's available on what you call it. Well, it's 20. I gotta see 21. It's 21 is on. So FIFA 20 is on Xbox One and PS3. I mean Xbox 360 and PS3 as well. 21, I don't know.
21 is not.
Yeah. Well, isn't that crazy that last year was still on PS3?
Yeah, I guess, huh? Why would you still be buying FIFA for that? Like, why would you not have? I guess I don't know. It's just like, why would you not have the consoles at that point? Well, see, this one right here doesn't list. This says yeah, it was released September 27, 2019 for Windows, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. FIFA
Mhm.
20 I do not see on PS3. Where did you see it listed for PS3?
I was Googling it. It was one of those drop downs. A second. Let me.
Hold on. I'm going to do GameStop and I'm going to type in FIFA. And I'm going to go on video games, PlayStation 3. And I want to do sort by release date, newest to oldest. FIFA 18, I see. FIFA 17.
Oh, well, it keeps linking me to 21 stuff,
Let me go to
even
Best
though
Buy.
searching 20.
Because Best Buy will have
Well, I don't think they
18.
sell it here. I think it's just for like Brazil and stuff, like places that still use those older consoles and haven't had a chance to get their hands on the new ones. Because I think they're for places that like the tax on new consoles coming in, makes the consoles legitimately like over $1,000.
Yeah, everything I see on Google for FIFA 20 says PS4, Switch, Xbox One, Windows.
Mm-hmm.
So I go FIFA 19. That list. So FIFA 19 was the last one that came to PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the Legacy Edition. So that wasn't even FIFA 19.
Mm.
That's the same version that like the Switch was getting.
I didn't say they like developed a new game. I'm pretty sure they don't really update those games much. They just fucking switch names around and put them out. They've been doing that for the past 10 years on this version
Yeah.
as well. So
Yeah, because Sony and Microsoft both ended production of the PS3 and 360 uh, in like
mhm.
2017.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, it's crazy. Those consoles lasted a long time on the market. Yeah, but yeah, FIFA 19 is the last one I see that was confirmed for those platforms.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. But yeah, I mean, sports is always the one thing that lasts on those franchises. You know, even when like Call of Duty and stuff leaves them behind, it's always sports that comes back and just won't let go.
Yeah, man, that one person, that's all they do is they get home. Imagine there's one person in Brazil, they live in the favelas. They get home, they get their nice ice cold beer, like whatever's local there. They light a cigarette and they play the latest version of FIFA on their outdated software because they can't afford to buy a new console because their government is fucking them over and is taxing them insanely on this hardware. So they have to stick with what they have for a long time. But that's the only thing they do is just
Well,
play
they
FIFA.
haven't been playing the newest one since 2018. They're playing FIFA
No, I'm
19.
not saying they probably had ample opportunity to buy a PS4 now, but I'm just saying like
Yeah, but this
you know,
doesn't impact the PS4.
I
I
know
think
this
the
doesn't
reason
now.
I think the reason Sony would do this is because in the past Sony has talked about having to support the older versions of the PlayStation Network, which is what the Vita runs on, what the PSP ran on, and what the PS3 ran on. So by eliminating that kind of portion of the network, they might be able to do more with the PS4 and the PS5 version of the network. So if this becomes a net, but like it's is yes, it is frustrating from a preservation standpoint but it's frustrating because like I don't want to hook up my PS3. Like I literally the other day was talking to Ross and I was just like, oh my God, do you think Metal Gear Solid 4 is on PlayStation Now? I think it's on PlayStation Now. I installed PlayStation Now on my PC the other day and I booted Metal Gear Solid 4 just to see it, and it worked. I have a good enough connection that I can play Metal Gear Solid 4 pretty reliably. And I
Mhm.
can't really tell if sometimes I look at the way it looks and I'm like, you know what? This might not be because it's streamed. This might just be because it's a PS3 game.
Mhm.
But yeah, I had to
That
crack out a
makes sense.
DualShock 4. I'm glad I still have one of those. But yeah, I mean, if those games are available in some capacity, then it's like, hey, whatever. I don't know. I have a certain affinity for games, but like after it gets to a certain point, it's like consoles are weird. And it used to be you could play almost anything on any console, no matter how far back it went. And I don't know. I don't feel the need to play a lot of PS3 stuff. Like honestly, that's the generation of games. Like, how people are always like, what's the one generation? You couldn't and there's not a lot of games from that generation I would go back and play. It just I don't that generation is weird.
PS3 specifically, no. 360, yes, there's a lot of games I'd like to go
360 there would
back
be
and
more
play.
games on that. But like if I had to give up a PlayStation, it would probably be the PS3 because I just don't care. Like they had a lot of really good games on it.
I feel you.
Yeah, but PS4 had better games. PS2 had a lot of games, and PS1 had a lot of fun games.
PS2 had the most games
PS2 had the most
of
games.
everything.
I don't know. PS4 might have
PS4 has a
made a
lot
dent in
of
that
games, but I
eventually.
think PS4, PS I think PS4 outsold the PS2 in
No,
total.
no, it did not.
You don't think so? I think I was
No, not
seeing
even
something
close.
where they were talking about. I guess
PS2
maybe that
sold
might have
over
been a
like
specific
150
market.
million units, man.
I
Like that
remember.
that is the juggernaut. That is still like the Wii couldn't touch that. The DS couldn't
Mhm.
touch that. The PS2 is like a phenomenon.
Well, PS2 had the advantage of bringing in technology at a cheaper price, and like it was like the viable DVD player that like snuck
Yeah.
in like gaming on it.
Yeah. It was a DVD player that played games, or
hmm
it was a game console that played DVDs, depending on your perspective.
hmm And I feel like people forget that DVD players were like $500. So at that point in time, so the PlayStation didn't look like that bad of an idea
Yeah.
because it
Coming in
was
at,
priced
what was it,
competitively.
$299 when it came out?
Something where it was like, wow, this is actually a good deal for a DVD player.
Remember when DVDs were the hot thing?
Remember the PS2 DVD remote where you plugged in
Yep.
something into the memory card slot, and there was I think it was a controller slot, but
It
it
was a
was like,
controller slot, and that
and it
became
had a
like the
little
dongle.
blue
Yep.
thing on the front of it, and it connected to the remote, and that's how you went through the menus and stuff like efficiently.
I remember my dad, he bought like a third party remote, and I don't know why, but he put a parental control on it. And unfortunately, he would pass away, and I tried to watch a DVD on my PlayStation, and I didn't know the code cuz he
Mm,
said it. And so I'm sitting there, I'm like, "Okay, I know my dad. He would not have picked a difficult code. He would have picked something simple that he would have remembered." And so I'm like, okay, 0000. No, okay. 1 2 3 4. No, 2 4 6 8. I'm in.
sheesh. Hey, there's at
And I'm
least
like,
back
yeah,
then
that
there's
makes
no
sense.
overloading the system with tries, so
Yeah,
you
because it's
just
not
keep trying
connected to
to
a
get.
server. It doesn't know. And so you just try until you get it. And it was like 2 4 6 8. I was like, dope, let's go. And so I just remember two
There
four
you go.
six eight done.
There you go. I got my first PlayStation because my dad bought PS. I got my first PS2 because my dad had a caravan that he bought that he had like set up. So we used to go to Florida every summer, and he bought it for that trip, and he put it in the van, and something happened with the van, and I just like stole it out of the van. Essentially, I was just like, nobody's gonna notice. My like the DVD. I think it was in the van for a while, and then the price of DVD players went down. I was like, Mom, I want a PS2 for Christmas. She was like, just take it out of there. So I'd got my like Christmas, like part of my Christmas present early, and then she bought me a bunch of games and put a DVD player in there, and he never noticed that it went missing.
Hey, you know what? Who cares? No harm, no foul, I
Yeah.
still at some point I got to get a convert. My car has the red yellow, it has the composite connections, and
hmm
because you can hook up a DVD player to it to play on the touchscreen. And so I want to take a PS2. I need to get like a power converter so I can plug in my PS2 in my car, and I want to just play my PS2 on that touchscreen or like a GameCube or something. Like imagine just being able to drive around and just be
Yeah,
like,
man.
"Oh, you want to play something?" Like switch it and just be like,
I
"Boom."
think your easiest bet. I think your easiest bet would be to get a Wii and do it there
A Wii would be a good
because you could
option
get
as
the
well.
Wii's for pretty cheap, and you could still get all the
But I
cables for
have
dirt
a
cheap as well.
PS2 and I have a GameCube.
hmm
I'm in possession of them already.
Yeah, but I imagine the cables for those are much harder
But
to
I have the
find than a Wii.
cables.
Okay, then
I
you're good to
have
go
them.
then.
I'm good to go. Like they're hooked up and ready to go. I just need to hook them up. And I just need the thing so I can plug it in my car. That's what I want.
Young Vin Diesel over here got his Fast and Furious ready.
Yeah, I just want to be able to I'm gonna go to lunch. I'm just gonna play Star Ocean in my car.
Hey man, I'd set that up and play Jet Set Radio. It'd just be my Dreamcast.
Yeah, there you go. That would be good too. What do you think? I got 2 titles for this episode: Kinky Man-Dog or the Bathroom iPad.
I don't feel like the bathroom iPad is a good title just because that's just a thing. It's
But iPad is a trigger word for SEO.
SEO. I think kink is a trigger word too. I'm a fan of the hot boy title, so Kinky Man-Dog.
Kinky Man-Dog. All right, I'm cool with that. Oh God, the Kinky Man-Dog.
They're gonna get
Yeah.
you, man. Next time we gotta focus the Kinky Man-Dogs off the rip. No Kinky Man-Dog getting
And
through
that
our
dude just
podcast.
killed me, and then it killed you. It just jumped up to you and killed you.
But the way it jumps is so freaky because it doesn't look like a human until you get close and then you realize it's not even a dog. It's a fucking human in some diapers covered in metal, and it
With no feet.
jumps and it just leaps like, yeah. It looks so weird.
No.
But it jumps so far. I'm lying.
It used flight. It
It
actually
like
said it used
literally
flight.
it literally like just soars around. It's the dumbest
It's
thing
like
ever.
some quiet monk who's just sitting in the dog and he's like moving around, like he's walking on
He's not
like dog
sitting in the
legs.
dog. He is a part of the mechanic
He is the
dog.
dog. He is the man is the dog.
It's a kinky man dog, man. I'm telling you.
It's like Man Bear Pig, except like Kink Man Dog.
It's like some weird BDSM strapped to a wall guy, just mixed his work and his hobby.
That dude, like Nat called him a kinky man dog, and he's like, "Don't kink shame me," and he jumped up and killed him.
Oh man. Get that fucking kinky man dog out of here. I don't care what we're doing. If I see a kinky man dog, just know we're fighting instantly. I have to
Yeah.
kill all the kinky man dogs.
Nat,
No,
like
I
Ross is
cannot.
on a crusade to kill all the magisters. You're on a crusade to kill all the kinky man dogs. I'm on a crusade to steal everything, and then Tony's on a crusade to light everything on fire.
Yeah. I feel like my crusade is the most noble, though. The kinky man dogs have no right to
Well,
grace this earth.
I mean,
To
but
taint.
that's where you and Ross have like a Venn diagram, and like yours, like it's not really like yours is a circle within his circle. Yours is a smaller circle of his circle.
Yeah.
So like Ross has the
Well, we
broad
haven't
stroke,
given any
kill the
other faction
magisters.
the option to, have a kinky man dog. If any faction pulls up on us with a kinky man dog, they're instantly enemies. I just want to say it from here.
All right. So like
I'm drawing the line
Nat
in the
has a
sand.
more aggressive circle, and we don't know. There's part of it we might not be able to see yet. It might be more of like an oval, but like right now, his is a very like red circle inside of Ross's red circle.
Yeah, there's a
Of
red
kill the
small confirmed
magisters.
circle and a big potential circle of
Yeah.
factions that support the kinky man dog.
And then mine's like a gold circle of like, wait, like what if we robbed them first? What if we stole everything they had first?
I don't want anything you get from the kinky man dog. You want a kinky man dog mask? That's what you want to be walking around in?
Maybe. That could be some shit. Imagine me walking around like a kinky man dog.
I would leave. I would have to be like, this is it.
Nat is out of this adventure now.
I'm done. It's been real. My character, I feel like got strong enough. Had a good time. Time for me to go to Baldur's Gate 3.
We need to find one more person to buy that and play that.
I have it. I bought it. It's sitting there. I
I
haven't
bought it
played
too.
it yet.
I have it installed.
It's just waiting.
And Tony has it also, I think.
Wow.
So I think he said he had that. Let me double check real quick.
No worries.
Pull up Steam. Click on the Baldur's Gate 3. Friends who play this game. I need to see. No, he doesn't have it. I think I
Well, it
told
might
him
not
to buy
show
it.
up because if he bought it and hasn't played it yet.
Oh yeah, no, he bought it. He bought it the same day I did.
Yeah.
Because I told him that you bought it, and he said, "Oh, I'll buy it." And then he bought it, and I was like, "Well, now I have to buy it," so I bought it.
Hey man, I told you.
Like he
you
just
gotta do
immediately
it.
was like, "Yeah, I'll buy it." Cool. He's
But
like, "Somebody
you
bought it."
forget
Awesome.
the same thing happened with me. He was like, "Oh, we got to get Baldur's Gate," and I was like, "I'll buy it right now. Don't play with me." And it was on the podcast.
I know. I
And
know
then
it
he
was
was
on
like, I
last week's
believe you'll
episode.
buy it. And I was like, no, you playing with me? And I was like, I bought it. And then he was like, I believe you. I was like, no, I already purchased it.
That stimulus money. Joe Biden bought me Baldur's
No,
Gate
I didn't.
3.
I didn't buy it. I didn't buy it with the stimulus money. This was pre-stimulus, actually.
Pre-stimulated?
Yeah,
Pre-stimulated
man,
Baldur's Gate 3.
pre-stimulated.
That's how I like my Baldur's Gate 3s. I like them pre-stimulated. Free range.
Yeah, it says
No
Cipher,
no growth
March
hormones.
21st, March 17th. It's Comic Kid now owns Baldur's Gate 3.
Yep.
March 21st, Cipher owns Baldur's Gate 3. A little later, March 21st, Knifer now owns Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah. Because he bought it. And I was like, well, fuck, now I have to buy it because now we have a group. And I was like, I need to find a fourth person to buy this.
Hey, man.
Because, like, we can play that anytime we want now.
Mm-hmm.
Balls and stimulated. No, you heard Baldur's Gate and pre-stimulated.
Hey, man, don't kink shame the kinky man, dog.
Don't kink shame the Kinky Man-Dog. Should that be the title? Or is Kinky Man-Dog just to the point? I think that's to the point. It's too good. You heard what you heard. You heard what you wanted to hear.
Hey.
Chat, if you guys
It's-
have any questions that aren't related to stimulated balls, go ahead and
I mean, man is human. Is Gas the kinky man, dog? Really?
could be.
Hey, don't kink shame us. If we're bonding over balls and stimulation, as long as we don't go inside each other, it's okay.
Oh, he's talking about that because he resubscribed on my stream and I was eating a fruit by the foot and I said, "This is in your honor." I said, "I'm gonna put you inside me," and he asked for his sub back, and I said no. You might get it just because the Life is Strange game looks so good. Fair enough. I haven't cared enough to play 2, and I didn't like Before the Storm enough. You good, Nat? You look like
I don't know
captivated
what's
by
happening.
something.
I don't know what's happening conversation wise.
She's
But-
talking about the new Life is Strange game.
Mm.
She just wants it for the looks. She's very superficial. She doesn't care about the content. She just wants it to look pretty.
Hey, man, you deserve it. As long as you're not a kinky man, dog, you're okay in my book.
And with that, no better time than the present to wrap it up, I guess. Comments about Life is Strange in the chat. It sounds like that there's excitement for that game. There's a market for a new Life is Strange.
Yeah. I never played the superhero variant or whatever it is.
Yeah, Life is Strange 2. I didn't play that one. I played the demo
I played one
version of it.
all the way through.
I did too. I really enjoy the first Life is Strange. I tried Before the Storm. I don't think I could finish the first episode because I just couldn't stand it. I don't know what it was about it. I just didn't like it.
If anybody's watching the video podcast, let me answer this annoyance right here. This is what my shirt says.
I didn't actually notice your shirt said anything. For the audio, hold on, can you hold it up one more time? For the audio listeners, his shirt says, "Where were you when I was lost? Answer the question." Where were you when he was lost?
It's a valid question. I was out here lost, in need of directions.
I don't hear answers. I hear a whole lot of silence. And apparently Gas was eating Cheetos and high as fuck. This has been the HalfGen podcast.
They're listening.
It's okay. This has been the HalfGen podcast, where it's okay to eat Cheetos and get high as fuck, as long as you are not a kinky man dog. I've been Chris. That has been Nat.
Kinky man, dog.
This has been an episode. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll catch you on the next one.
Later.